It was a crisp October morning in rural Montana, the kind of day that makes you grateful for wide-open spaces and air that hasn't been recycled through a dozen air conditioners. I was leaning against a weathered fence post, sipping coffee from a thermos that had seen more years than most social media influencers. My cows grazed lazily, their breath steaming in the cool air, each chew a quiet reminder of the simple life I'd built. My name's Tom Hargrove, and this 200-acre ranch has been my family's heartbeat for 3 generations. But that morning, peace was about to be shattered not by a storm, but by a woman in a gleaming white SUV who thought she owned the world. Her name was Linda Prescott, president of the Pine Valley Homeowners Association, a pint-sized bundle of ambition wrapped in designer yoga gear and a fake smile. For months, she'd been circling my property like a vulture, demanding temporary access through my east pasture so her fancy subdivision could shave 10 minutes off their commute. Every request was framed as a favor to the community, but I knew better. My answer was always the same, a polite but firm no. That morning, she stepped out of her SUV, heels clicking on the gravel, clutching a folder like it was a winning lottery ticket. "Morning, Tom," she said, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Linda," I replied, not looking up from my coffee. "That paperwork means trouble, doesn't it?" She flashed a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Good news, actually. The county's approved a temporary easement through your pasture, just for a few weeks, due to road work on Pine Creek." She thrust the papers at me. I scanned them. Official looking, sure, but the signature line was blank. "No signature, no deal," I said, handing them back. "Nice try, but this won't hold up in court." Her face tightened. "You're obstructing progress, Tom. This is for the community." "My cows don't care about your community, Linda. Neither do property rights." As if on cue, Deputy Mike Callahan rolled up in his cruiser. Mike's a local, steady as they come, and he knew my late wife from church. Linda waved at him like she'd summoned the cavalry. "Officer, he's blocking an approved detour route," she declared. Mike glanced at the papers, then at me. "You okay, Tom?" "Just keeping my land safe from trespassers in stretch pants," I said. He stifled a grin, turned to Linda. "Ma'am, without the owner's consent, this document's worthless. You're trespassing. Time to go." Linda's face went crimson. She stormed back to her SUV, nearly tripping over a cow pie. "This isn't over, Tom," she hissed before peeling out in a spray of gravel. I sipped my coffee, thinking that was the end of it. I was wrong. That was just the spark, and Linda was already pouring gasoline. 2 days later, I spotted a drone buzzing over my pasture like a high-tech pest. It wasn't mine, too sleek, too quiet. It hovered, making my cows twitchy, then darted off. By the 3rd visit, it was circling my irrigation system, filming like it was planning a heist. I stood in the field, chewing a piece of straw, staring it down. It blinked a red light and zipped away. Something was off. That evening, I caught my ranch hand, Carlos, setting up a small camera in the barn. "Filming the cows' secret poker game?" I teased. He grinned, sheepish. "Just my vlog, boss. Call it ranch life. Folks like the real stuff." "You catch that drone on tape?" I asked. His eyes lit up. "Yeah, been seeing it a lot. Thought it was a surveyor or something." The next morning, I found fresh tire tracks near my east fence, not mine, not Carlos's. Someone in a heavy SUV had parked there, likely at night. Then Carlos showed me footage that turned my suspicion into certainty. It was Linda, pacing outside her property, phone pressed to her ear. "I signed the letter of intent," she said, voice sharp. "They won't close without access through his gate. Do whatever it takes, scare him, shame him, break him." Carlos paused the video. "What's a letter of intent?" "Real estate talk," I said, my gut tightening. "She's trying to sell my land out from under me." It clicked. The fake documents, the drone, the pressure. Linda wasn't after a shortcut, she was after a payout, probably to dodge foreclosure. She'd picked the wrong rancher to mess with. The sabotage started small. A padlock on my east gate, cut clean in half. Footprints near the barn, not ours. Then someone smashed my new motion lights and left an HOA flyer stabbed into the dirt. By week's end, things got ugly. My front fence was spray-painted. "Open the road or sell." Worse, the bullpen latch was undone. One slip, and my bull, Samson, could have turned the highway into a slaughterhouse. Carlos and I spent hours securing the place, his face pale. "This ain't right, boss," he said. He was scared, and I couldn't blame him. That night, I sat with a bottle of whiskey, watching Carlos's footage. Linda's voice dripped venom, her entitlement clear as day. I should have called Mike, but something in McCullough's stubborn pride wanted to handle this the old way, to stand my ground. I was wrong to think the world still worked like that. 2 nights later, a metallic crash woke me. Carlos burst in, shouting, "The irrigation's busted." We ran outside. Someone had smashed a pressure valve, flooding the corral. The field was a swamp, my cattle spooked. I stood there, soaked, furious, my jaw so tight I thought my teeth would crack. Carlos said it out loud. "They're trying to break you." I didn't answer. I grabbed my father's old rifle, loaded it, and sat on the porch. Sleep wasn't an option, not out of fear, but because I knew the real fight was coming. It came at dawn, a roar like a freight train, followed by a sickening crunch. The windows rattled, and my cows wailed. Carlos and I sprinted to the east field, where Linda's SUV was lodged in my fence, tires spinning in mud. The gate was mangled, the irrigation system destroyed. And there was Linda, slumped behind the wheel, mascara streaked, a half-empty wine bottle rolling in the passenger seat. "You ruined everything," she screamed, voice slurred. "You and your cows and your dirt, you think you're better than us." Then I saw her. Daisy, a calf I'd delivered in a spring storm, sweet and clumsy, always nuzzling my boots. She lay under debris, a gash in her side, blood pooling on the gravel. She was gone. My chest hollowed out. Carlos dropped to his knees, whispering her name. I stood frozen, not angry yet just empty. Deputy Mike arrived, took one look, and found the wine bottle and a developer's contract in the SUV, and signed by me. "This ain't just trespassing," he muttered, cuffing Linda. "This is intent." She screamed about easements and betrayal as they hauled her away. I barely heard her. I was kneeling by Daisy, hand on her still warm hide, knowing nothing would bring her back. Carlos posted the footage online. It spread like wildfire, thousands of shares, comments raging against Linda's greed. The headline hit the local news. HOA president's drunken rampage kills calf, destroys ranch. But I didn't care about the headlines. I had a grave to dig and a fight to finish. The Boise courthouse was cold, sterile, like truth had been polished out of it. The gallery was packed, reporters, ranchers, even HOA folks looking like they'd aged overnight. Carlos's video had gone viral, making Linda infamous. She walked in, blazer too big, smirk fading fast. Her lawyer, some city slicker, tried to look confident. She didn't. The judge, a no-nonsense woman with a voice like gravel, laid out the charges: DUI, destruction of property, fraud, endangerment. Linda pleaded not guilty, her tone dripping with disdain. Then Carlos's video played. The room went silent as it showed Linda's rant, the crash, Daisy's body. A juror wiped tears away. On the stand, I told the truth, the harassment, the sabotage, Daisy's death. I didn't yell. I didn't need to. Linda's lawyer tried to spin it, claimed she was stressed, manipulated by developers, that I'd provoked her by being stubborn. The judge cut in. "Are you saying she endangered lives because someone said no?" Linda snapped, slamming her hands down. "That deal was my life. Without that road, I'm bankrupt. One cow, one field, none of it matters." The gallery gasped. The judge didn't flinch. "I see," she said. "Let the court ruin you back." The verdict: guilty on all counts. 15 years in prison, 5 for DUI, 7 for property damage, 3 for fraud and endangerment. The HOA was liable for $240,000 in damages. As Linda was led away, still muttering about conspiracies, she looked back, searching for sympathy. She found none. The ranch didn't quiet down after the trial. Reporters hounded me, but I felt no victory, just exhaustion. Carlos's vlog, Ranch Life, exploded, but he kept it real, filming the repairs, the new gate, a stone for Daisy. Then came a surprise, a knock at my door. A young man, David, introduced himself as Linda's son. "I've been trying to stop her for years," he said. He'd cut ties after her last DUI, warned the HOA she was unstable. Now, he was helping rewrite their charter to prevent another Linda. I nodded, no anger left. He was trying. A year later, we held Daisy's Day, an open house for the community. Kids chased chickens, a band played, neighbors danced. David, now leading a reformed HOA, directed parking with a shy smile. A new steel gate stood proud, bearing a plaque. Entry permitted only with a clear head and a clean conscience. A kid asked if it was because of the car lady. I chuckled. She's grounded for 15 years. Deputy Mike, munching a sandwich, grinned. From a crashed SUV to fried chicken and fiddles. Not bad, Tom. I looked at the laughing kids, the grazing cows, the strong gate. Yeah, I said. Next year, I'm charging admission. The music swelled as fairy lights flickered on, the ranch alive with earned peace. That gate wasn't just keeping people out, it was choosing who to let in. What do you think? Was justice served, or did Linda's desperation justify her actions? Should Tom have compromised to avoid the violence? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about justice, greed, and standing your ground in a world that tests it.